Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another Depedeyo video. This is a little bit different because I just wanted to show you guys like what the difference is between like stretched and whatnot. Because a lot of people tend to think that it's cheating or an advantage, and I just want to check out some spots and see if it actually is. So the first spot here is a rock, because like this is the one that a lot of people use, like, oh, you can look over the rock, you can see the killer over the rock. Yeah, I don't know. If this friendly person would like to stand still. So I have these like lines that you can see, and they like show different resolutions. So the blue lines are native, and no lines is 1080 by 1080, and everything between. Just read. Anyways, as you can see, like I can see the killer here, but like if I were to tilt my camera upwards a little bit, he's perfectly visible in native as well. So like in this specific instance, there's no like actual advantage, because all it really is that you just have to tilt your camera a little bit. But people think like, oh, you can see him like this and you can't see him like this. You are cheating when you can clearly still see him if you were on native. Same if I go like over here, like I can like, okay, I can maybe see a couple pixels. This is actually the case actually. So yeah, this is definitely like an advantage, but like it's really hard to see him anyways. And you could still see him by just tilting your camera a little bit, right? And like same for here. Like I mean, this is like an obvious one. So yeah, like I don't know. I can't see him over the rock. I can see him over the rock here, kind of. But again, if I just change my camera position, I can see him on native as well. Even on funny ultra wide if you're playing on that for some reason. So yeah, that's the rock for you. Alright, next example will be Shack, because I've also seen people say like, oh, Shack is easier on stretch because you can see the killer faster, and well, like, I mean, the killer's right there. Like, this is like an obvious example. Like, I can see him on native and whatever the hell. But even if I go really far out, like, I actually cannot see him if I tilt my camera like this. I would have to tilt my camera more like that. See? Like, dude, like, I don't know what to say. Like, stretch doesn't help with looking behind walls, because it's like, or like around walls, I mean, because that's something I've seen a lot. Like, same thing with like looking at the window, like, like the important part is just on the like native kind of side of things. Like if I look down or look more up, like it's not gonna help me if with stretch res. So yeah, kind of a shit example, but you get the point. Alright, next up is a TL wall. You know, an auto haven. Like the auto haven tiles are lower in general, but as you can see, if I like stand here, I can see Legion. But on like any res really, like again, if I just tilt my camera up a little bit, he'll be visible on native. Even on Ultrawide maybe? Not really. Ultrawide kind of sucks. Sorry if you play on Ultrawide, but like, yikes. Anyways, like if I just move around a little bit, I can see Legion over this wall, and I can also see him on native because he's within the blue lines. So again, no actual like real advantage, even if he's like on the back corner of the T wall. Okay, so if he's at the end of the T wall, like I mean, yeah, I can see him really clearly unstretched. But if I just move my camera up, I can also see him. This is the entire point I'm trying to make. Just move your camera up or like sideways and you will see the killer on the same spot on native. Like this is maybe the only exception here. Like I can kind of see his mask, and I cannot do that on native. This is like such a edge case scenario, but even then you have to be like on 1440, which I guess is common. I don't know. You have to be on like 1440 to see it. And it has to be like a small killer. If it's like a longer killer, then maybe. But actually, no, never mind. So yeah, this is like one of the only scenarios, I think, where like stretching gives you an advantage, but it doesn't really... I don't think it really warrants it. Because like it's such like an edge case scenario. Killers don't usually stand still, you know? Like they usually just chase you around and yada yada. Like that's not a realistic scenario. Like, and like over here you can see him on native, and over here you can see the red stain, you know, like I don't know. Okay, there's definitely some scenarios. I'll try to keep pointing them out, like this one. But other than that, yeah, I don't know, not really an advantage. I can see him for this even, I think. I feel like the top of his head. Oh well, you get the point. Let's just go to the next tile. Dude, this video is gonna suck. Alright, now we're on Coldwind to show you some palette loops. So over here, obviously, I can see him on, like, anything above 1728. But like, if you really want it to be technical, like I can see him as well, like on the corner of my screen here on native. Same with like doing it like this. So like, it's really just a thing of positioning your camera differently, which can be a little bit tricky, but it's possible. Trust me, just get good. Of course, if you go over here, he's easily visible on native. There's no point in like trying to deny it, even on ultra wide. Over here, again, like you can see him on native. Again, it's just purely like a move your camera kind of thing. And on this side, you can also see the blight on native. Yeah. So, like, it's not really advantageous on these kind of panel loops, so that's pretty cool, I think. Alright, now we're at this little, like, loop thing. Obviously, over this, I can't even, like, see. Like, even on 1080, like, that's not happening. In this case, I can barely see blight in general. You couldn't see him on native, like, yeah, I don't know, he's really hard to see anyways. But, again, if you do manipulate your camera a little bit, you could see him. But it is kinda ass. So, like, on this one, I'll give a point, even though I'm not even working with points, to, like, stretch, like, actually giving an advantage. But, like, looping it like this sucks anyways. You kinda, if you wanna see anything, you should look down. Although, you can only do that on... nah, you can do it like this too, so you can kinda, like, see where it's standing. I don't know. I never look over this anyways. Unless it's, like, a really tall killer. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say on this one. I'm conflicted. This shit sucks, by the way. Like, you can barely see over it on native. But it also kinda sucks on stretched. Like, what you can't see on native, you can't see on stretched, pretty much. Alright, next example is just like a random hay bill kind of thing. You probably won't really be here in a chase, but as you can see, I can see blight on native for this crack. I can't see blight anywhere. I can't see him on native, pretty much. Like, I can see him for this crack here. If I move around it, I mean, like, I can see him on native first. Or, like, even on, like, just with camera manipulation, I can see him, like, around other stuff. I can't, like, wow, cool, dude. This is, like, an example, maybe, of, like, stretch giving you some sort of advantage, but again, literally just move your camera around. It's, like, you've gotta understand. Okay, this is the point I'm trying to make. With camera manipulation, you can see pretty much the same things as you can with stretched resolution. That's, like, the point I'm trying to make here. Alright, now we're just at a jungle gym, just to show that you can't actually look over, like, jungle gyms usually. Like, this is, like, a common misconception that people make. You can look through it, but you can also do that on native. It's actually easier on native because you have more vertical pixels to work with. Or, like, less of a squish. You get the point. Again, if I try to, like, peek around it, like, I will see the blight on native just as well as I would on stretched. It doesn't give any extra horizontal FOV, so that's how that works. Again, same on this side, like, I can't even see him, like, on other reses, so, yeah, I don't know. You can't look over walls, that is what I'm trying to say, that, like, our jungle gyms, you can't look through them, like, again, like, because it's cool and you can kind of see through them. But it, like, no. Okay, just know, it's not literally that I'm able to see him on the other side and see exactly the moves that he's gonna make and yada yada. It's all just on one even playing field, I guess. Alright, now we're on Thompson with this funny, like, wood kind of thing and the hay kind of thing. Yeah, I can see him here on 1728. He's gone. Hello? Okay, so if he's in stealth, he's gone. I can't see him anymore. But now I can. But he isn't hugging, so that doesn't really matter in chase. I can see him on native here. I can see him on native like this as well. So I guess it really, again, is just a case of camera manipulation and, like, using the edges. I think on native, you're just gonna have to get used to using the edges of your screen to your advantage. I mean, when you're looping, you're, like, holding the killer in, like, the edge of your screen anyway, so yeah, I don't think this matters that much, because you can just do this and you can see him again. Okay, now he's hugging the wall. As we can see, I can't see him. Let me just uncloak him. Oh, he uncloaked himself. I deadass cannot see him. I cannot see him. He's not there. He doesn't exist. Not until here. And at this point, I can see him on native. So this little like kind of loops like this, Stretch is not giving you any advantage. Even like with taller killers, because like with taller killers, for example, Deathslinger, like you can kind of look like this, and you can still see his like bald head or something, you know, like. So this is like one of those places where Stretch does not give you an advantage. And the same thing can be said here, obviously, like you can clearly see over this, so like this shouldn't even be a problem. So yeah, unstretched, this towel does not give you an advantage, which is really cool. So yeah, alright, now we're on Haddonfield to show you the van. This is also a thing on Badham. So this is like one of those things where Stretched can help you, just because simply by looking down, I can like see the red stain, and if I look down even more, I can see his feet, which I cannot see on native unless I crouch. So this is definitely one of those things where it like Stretched does give you an advantage, but it's like still kinda ass, but it definitely does help. And when it comes to looking like around it, again, like if I can see him on Stretched by looking around, I can see him on native. So that will never be an issue. But in this specific scenario, which you will only find on 2 maps, you can look under it just by looking down instead of having to crouch to see under it. So yeah, that's the only real advantage I think Stretch gives. Right now we're at main, so let's say we're looping main optimally, so we like go on the edge here, he faults. Like this is like the only kind of scenario like I can see for longer what he's going to do. That's it. So yeah. And now I'm just looping main because I'm trolling. What? Did I just? There's no way that was real. He's gotta be trolling. But yeah, that's like the only thing that it can help on. Like purely with this drop, it's like, because if you like don't see him drop, then like whatever. But even then, it's like really minimal, and he could have hit me there. So, yeah. All right, so same building. Like he faults, but like this is like the only advantage it gives. Like you can see him not fault, like actually drop, and then you can just like run away. That like I don't know, but that's still like very edge case, you know. Like it definitely helps. He probably has no clue where I went. I probably need to follow him again. Yeah, hello. So yeah, like we see him fault, we don't see him drop at all, so we can just run back. But like the thing with that as well is that like it's the same kind of thing on native where you'll just like run, and then you'll notice like, oh, he hasn't dropped in a bit. I can probably just like take the window or go back and leave. Like so it's still kind of like I thought it would give an advantage, but it really doesn't. So yeah, I don't know. I think my final verdict on this is that Stretched definitely has its advantages, like right here, I guess, where you can kind of see him, or where you could see him in main. But like again, you can kind of see you could kind of see him if on native as well. Like Stretch just makes it a little easier, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, I think Stretch doesn't give that much of an advantage. There's definitely some advantages, especially for going on like 1080 by 1080, which I think is a little bit overkill. I personally play on 1600 by 1080. It's probably one of the better resolutions out there. That like it doesn't look too bad and stuff, and it also doesn't give that bit of an advantage. But yeah, I think that'll have to be my final verdict on Stretch Res on Survivor. Cause yeah, I don't know. I genuinely can't think of like anything anymore. I think I've shown everything that could have been an advantage. Like even just dropping down doesn't do anything. So I don't know. I don't know. If you are going to like leave a comment, then please do be civil about it. Like I don't want any arguments, and I will try to respond in a nice way with my opinions, and you can have your opinions and yada yada. I do expect this video to get disliked a lot because I am more in favor of Stretched. That's okay. And again, I'm sorry for this not being a video that you are used to. I just wanted to like see for myself if there really is like an advantage on Stretch Res. I guess if you like DVD content, you can subscribe. If not, then why are you here? And yeah, I don't know, I guess that's it for the video.